year's mission team, standing left to right, Colin Brown, Mike Craig, Frank Himmelrich, Mel Smith. Sitting, Karen Brown, Ruth McCullough, Ann Himmelrich, Patty Bilodeau. Not pictured, Michaela Himmelrich, Frank and Ann's granddaughter, Mary Lynn Aldricks, and Ken Hendricks. We left Fort Dodge at minus 10 degrees on January 21st. Stayed over in a hotel in Des Moines, then early on Saturday morning checked in at the Des Moines airport and headed for Houston. We had a 9-hour layover at the Houston airport, but enjoyed a special room to relax in while we were not shopping or eating our Go 2011 mission team cookie. We finally took off and arrived about 9 p.m. at the Managua, Nicaragua airport. We stayed that first night at the Holiday Inn, had breakfast the next morning, and a group picture by the palm trees. Then we went to Pastor Ronnie Coffer's church services where his wife was preaching that day. Packed the van, then the 3-hour drive to the mission house in Somatillo, just 6 miles south of the Honduran border. The next morning, supplies, food, and medicine for the medical clinics were loaded. While we headed for our first clinic village, Ken, Jimmy Herrera, the international director of Save a Generation, Frank, and Mel were gathering construction materials to rebuild the home that Frank and Ann's sponsored child lives in. This was their project for the week. We went to the market bakery for fresh bread every day to distribute at the clinics.
KidSpace donated air pumps and 400 balloons so we could make hats to bring a smile to the children's faces. They were a big hit.
This is Ann and her interpreter Jackie talking to one of the patients that we see. And this is Mike. He got very good at giving lots of shots and starting IVs. I think he gave about 100 of them in one day. But we had a very good time. We saw all these people. Sometimes it was just something as simple as them just needing reading glasses, or just maybe some patient teaching, like how do you properly lift, and proper hygiene. And spiritual medicine was more important than anything to all that we did, both for us and the patients. This is Karen and her interpreter Claudia interviewing a patient. Yeah, the local physician, Dr. Anderson, was with us with his nurse Hilda. They ran mostly the pharmacy, and we had a very large team, including all the drivers and interpreters and just helpers. And it was a large group to kind of cart around the country.
This feeding station is set up to feed the sponsored children at Save a Generation. Here they are, enjoying their meal of beans, rice, and tortillas. We hosted a hot dog roast for 200 people at the village of Pascuala. This was a first for them.
Lots of hard work was accomplished, but we still had time for fun. Ruth had her 29th birthday, a surprise party while we were there. This was the construction team's project for the week. It was Frank and Ann Hemmerich's child that they sponsor. They rebuilt the whole house with new structure, corrugated tin on the sides, and the roof. It will keep them very dry, especially through the rainy season. The family was very pleased with their new home. One of our main goals was to deliver the sponsored families gift bags for the children that they sponsor while we were there. New Covenant had 31 gift bags delivered, and Mary Lynn's church in Nora Springs had many other bags delivered. The children were very pleased with their gifts. In summary, we held medical clinics in 6 villages in 4 days and examined 860 patients. The construction team rebuilt a home, and chicken coops and fencing were provided for area pastors. After our last all-day clinic, when we were returning, there was a small rainbow in the sky, and we felt God was telling us, "Well done." And as he says in Matthew 25, "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me." It's all about him. Consider a mission trip. It will change your life forever. Thank you, and God's blessings. This video production was made possible by Memories in Motion.